Hello world, welcome back to CyberCrete, and today in this video we are going to be seeing how you can send any type of mail using your Python code. So we are going to be looking how you can send the things with the attachment such as image as well as also XLS file or any type of zip file too. And also we are going to be telling you the different ways of sending the mail through SMTP, as well as how you can simply format a table-like structure onto your mail and then send it via mail. So everything related to mails you are going to be learning from this video. And with that said, let's get this video started. So first of all, the first and the most basic thing that we need to understand of sending mail is that how we can simply send a text email. So I am basically going to be dividing this video into many parts. First, how you can simply send the text email, then how you can send a mail having just one single attachment, and then how you can simply send the mail that contains multiple attachment, and then we are going to be discussing how you can send the mail with some data like structure properly formatted in the form in a proper way, and then send it via mail. So this I will be putting the timelines below, so you can simply jump around to the section that you are most interested, but it is highly recommended to watch this video to the very end. And please make sure to like this video if this video is going to help, and just subscribe this video too. That's give me motivation. So with that out of the way, the first thing that we need to do is to import some of the important libraries. So first library that I would like to simply copy and paste it here is SMTP lib. So for sending mail, the protocol that we are going to be using is SMTP, because mails are sent using this SMTP protocol. And here in this example I am going to be using my Gmail ID for those purposes. So for sending the mail, here we are going to be using SMTP lib that provides SMTP connections, so that you can create SMTP connection, send the mail from your mail server to the other end of the mail server. And here we are importing SMTP SSL, because we need to encrypt our mail so that no one can basically intercept the data while it is being transferred from your system to the other end. So this secure SSL is for that. And then I am also going to be importing this library from email message, import email message. And why we are importing this? Because this is the way that we are going to be structuring our mail. We are going to be setting our headers, we are going to be setting the content of the mail, or even we can also insert HTML using this. So that is the reason why we are using this email message. And then the next thing that I will be using is just the OS module. And let me also copy the other JSON one too. So here I also have copied and pasted the JSON one. And why we are doing this? Because we are going to be using the login credentials that are present in this credentials.json file. So you can also create your own JSON file. You can just create like cred.json, and then you can simply use this curly bracket. Just use the double quotes to let's say write your email, and then let me just structure it a bit, email like this, and then you can paste your own email. Let's say something @gmail.com, and then you can also put like this, you can write your password, and then you can simply put inside the string whatever the password there is, but make sure to put a comma down here, or else you are going to be seeing here. So in that same way I have created and I have entered my real email ID and password in this credentials.json file. That is the reason why I will not show that file, but you can simply create a credentials.json that contains this both email and the password. So these are the keys. These are very important because we will be importing those things inside our code. So firstly we need to open that JSON file. So I will be opening this credential.json file because that is where my credentials are. So I will just write like file is equal to, using the OS module I will write open and the name of the file. So here in my case the name of the file is going to be this credentials.json. So I'll just use double quotes and using this drop down I'm selecting credential.json. So you have to create your own separate file, credential.json, and put your credential down there. Don't use this cred or anything like that, but make sure to put in this particular format. So once this is done, what we can do, now we have to basically read the data from this. So data is equal to json dot read. I think I have imported the json. Okay, so it is json.load, and then you can just write file. So what this is going to do, this is going to load the data from the credential.json file, and it is going to be treated as a dictionary. So if I just print the data like this, let me just for now mention the cred file. Let me just delete. So here if I do and try to run the code, we are getting the error because I think let me just close this, because I think I have not saved it. Let me just save it. Let me just clear the screen and run the code again. So here you can see it is in a key value pair, just like your dictionary. So if you know about the dictionary data structure, you will know that quickly. But now this was just for demo, but I will be using the credential.json that contains my real email ID and password. And then what we can do, we can simply take those data, like here you can see the key is email. So if I need to get email, I can simply write data email, and it will give me this data email one, and data of password is going to give me the password one. And that is why we are going to be using, let me just copy this, and I'm writing like this. So here you see sender email is data.email. So data email is going to return the email ID that you have entered in your real credentials .json file, and then the password is going to be the password that you have of your Gmail account. And yes, very important thing here is that you have to make sure that less secure app is basically allowed from your Gmail account, and if it is not allowed, this code is not going to work. So you have to search on Google, allow less secure app access, then and only then it is going to simply work. So let me just quickly show you. Let me open up the browser. So you have to search allow less secure app Gmail. You have to search this, and here you have to click less secure app.sign in, and you have to turn it on. So here I am just signed in anonymously. So it is just the incognito tab. You have to basically sign in and turn on less secure app so that your code can simply access it, or else your code is not going to be able to access it. So this is the very most important point before even starting this. So once that is done, now let's move on to the next part. That is, let's simply create def send send mail function, and inside this send mail function we can simply pass the sender email, let me just simply copy the sender email, and as well as a receiver email. So receiver email is also very important. So here let me just paste sender email, receiver email, as well as the mail password. So here we are simply going to be doing with just simple text. So here we need the subject of the mail. So for subject I will just write subject, and then there should be content. So here is the content. So here let me just simply paste the code, and let me just explain you quickly. So here what we did, here we firstly created an email message class. So this is that we have imported, and as we have already discussed, this is used to format our mail. So here you see, so here we have said a message from, so here we have simply said from email is the sender email. So because from is just the mail that you are going to send, and here is a to. So if you this is going to the receiver's email, so to whom you want to send. And also if you want to add CC, you can just say message CC, you can write CC email, and if you want MSG, you can also use BCC, blind carbon copy, and you can also specify the email ID in this parameter here. But for now we are just going to send to but just make sure there are options available for if you want to send it for basically other people. So here I can say bcc email, and you have to provide that as a parameter here. So blind carbon copy email addresses as well as the carbon copy email addresses. So how you can specify multiple email address, we are going to see in a bit. But for now, just understand, if you want to send the carbon copies, you can use this format. If you want to send the blind carbon copy, this is the way. So here is the subject. Subject is just going to be the title of the mail that is being shown when before even someone open up your email. So that is the subject part. Now we are coming up to the actual content. So if we say message dot, and here you can see there are lots and lots of options that are already being shown here. So if you want to set the content, you can set the content, and you can just pass down this content variable. So this is the content variable. You can simply paste it here. So till here you have done nothing but just formatted your mail. You have not created, you have not logged into your mail, you have not done anything on the internet. This is just how the things are being formatted. But now you have to create a connection. So let me just copy the code. So to create a connection, we have to use SMTP SSL. So here is the SMTP SSL that we have. And then as I'm going to be using the Gmail one, so here is the SMTP address of the Gmail. So smtp.gmail.com. And this is basically the port number on which this works. So you have to make sure to provide this both. And then I am just opening this SSL secure connection on smtp.gmail.com at port 4655, and I am renaming it as SMTP. And then what we need to do, the first thing that we have to do, like here we have went to the gmail.com at that particular port, and then we need to basically log in first before doing anything. So at smtp.login. So here the username is nothing but the sender email. So I will just simply paste the sender email, and this is the mail password. This is going to be the mail password. So once the connection is sent, then we have to basically send the message. So we can say smtp.send message, and here we have to pass in this message variable. So here you see, here we have just decorated, we have just formatted the things in the proper format, and then we are simply sending it. So what if, let me just do print msg. Let's just see what is going to be shown here. So I will just comment these things out, and I will simply call this send mail function, and I will just simply remove it. So here the sender email is already defined, receiver email is not defined, so we have to define the receiver email. So let me just quickly write the receiver email. Let me just write my cyber 30. So this is the receiver email, and the mail password is already there. Then let me just define the subject. So subject, let it be test subject, and then the content. I think I just spelled it right. Okay, content, hello world, something like this. And if you want to write the content in a multiple line, which just happens in most of the cases, because you are not going to sending just a single line of comment. So for that you can use multi-line string. So just triple this, and you just press enter. Let me, and something like this. So here inside this you can now keep on writing like, hey, ADITYA, this mail is just the test email, and here you can say thanks and regards. And here you can say ADITYA, your name, like this. So this is the common format that we usually send the mail in. So for a multi-line, you have to make sure you use this triple double quotes, and this is the one that allow multi-line comments, multi-line strings to be sent. So now if I run the code, let us see what is being displayed here. So here you see this is how it have made the content. Let me just scroll it a bit. So here you see, let me just till the things, okay, here. So here you see it have already set from is equal to this, to is set to the this email, subject is test subject, content type. Here you see text plain and everything is set, content transfer is 7-bit, this version, and this is the body of the email. So this entire data is now sent using our SMTP server. So this is that is the reason why I just showed you this. Now let me just simply uncomment, and once we have successfully sent the data over the email, we have to simply close the connection too. It is highly recommended to close the connection. It is not if you don't write this smtp.close, your code is not going to send any error. Your mail will successfully went there, but it is recommended to close the connection because you have opened the connection. So make sure to close it. That's the thing. So let me just comment it here. Sending mail via SMTP server, and once this mail is sent, let's just print out mail sent successfully. Mail sent successfully. Sorry, just pardon me for the bad English. There's just the grammar mistake, English mistake. So if I now run this, this should create a connection, send the email, and it should be good to go. So here you see mail sent successfully, and let me just check on my second screen. Let me just check my Gmail here, and here you see that I have got the email from my another email. Here Aditya, this is just the mail, test email, thanks and regard. So here you see from this and test subject and everything, and here is security is also standard encryption is there. So this is the first way and the most simplest way to send the text email to someone. But now we have to send attachments. This is going to be the interesting part. We have to send, firstly we are going to see how we can send a single attachment file, and then we will work around to send multiple attachment file. So okay, so let me just put it down, because here we have to also put on the attachment and things like that. So for doing attachment, let us try to send first this JPEG. So if I write file name is equal to, let me just select this reddit.jpg. So reddit.jpg is just the JPEG image. Let me just cut. This is just the JPG image that was produced by the Reddit a few days, where each and everyone from every nation have drawn something using the 1 pixel. So that's that. So we are going to be sending this via email. So how we are going to do that? So first of all, we need some more libraries. So let me just copy the one that I need. And here is the file name. So here we have to also provide the file name. So here I provided the file name, and then what we need to do, we have to know what type of data does this file name contain. So let me just simply copy the piece of code that. So firstly, let me show you here why I am writing this line of code. So here this mine type, this will tell what type of file it is. So here you see mine types.guest type. So, or you can say from, let me just see, from mime type import guest type. So, and I will just simply remove it just to make things lot more cleaner in the code. So here this will return, let me just simply print and show you instead of me telling. we just need this part, MIME type, this nothing else. Encoding is required because this function returns two different values, so we need to capture in that such a way. And then I will just simply comment this line so that we did not send mail purposelessly. And if I run the code again, here you see it is returning image JPEG. So first of all, it returns what type of file it is. So this reddit.jpg is of course an image file, and what in that image, what subcategory it follows. So this is the application type, and this is the subcategory type. So it is JPG, PNG, or whatever type it is. So if this you can also do manually, but what if you have to send multiple of the files like XLS or zip file? For that you have to also think what is going to be the application name and what is going to be the extension. So just to remove all those confusion, we are going to be using this, and this is going to make our work a lot more easier. So I will just simply copy it, I will cut it down, and I will go here and write it here. So here I have written the MIME type, and here I have asked it to guess the file name. So here, as we have seen, let me copy piece of code. So here first of all we need this image inside a variable, and this JPG in another variable. So that is why this is the app type. So app type will be returned to this image. This will get the image. Image will return here, because what we are actually doing is meme type dot split based on this slash. So what it is going to do, it is going to convert this inside a list, and the first element is going to be this image, the second element is going to be this JPEG. So this is image will be inside this app type, and the subtype will contain this JPEG. And then and only then we can simply add an attachment. So let me just write this message dot add attachment, and here in this we need to provide some data. So all the data that we have, so file, okay, let me just check. So till here we have got the application name as well as the subcategory name, but now we need to open that file and then read it. We are just reading the JSON file here, but we have to also read the file that we need to send. So in order to read that, we have to again open the file. So we have to say with just like above, with open the file name, with the file name, and we have to open it as read binary, because we have to read as a binary format, because we are going to be sending those data over the email. So we are let me just write file, and then we have to first read the data. So I will create a variable file data is equal to file dot read. So the file data will just simply read the file content. So whatever is there inside this file name, if it is JPG, it will read that JPG image. And once the read function is done, now here we can simply add this attachment. So here you can say msg dot add attachment, and inside this we have to pass this file data. So here we simply say file data, but now here we have to pass the different categories. So the different categories, that means what type of data you are sending, what is the subtype of it. So let me just copy that piece of code, as it can get tedious. So here you see, here we say main type, which means what is the main type. So main type, here we have defined app type, and what is app type? App type is nothing but this image, because this is returning image. And this subtype is basically this JPEG, so we have to also define the subtype. And what is the name of the file that you want to be sent? So here you can also change the name of the file. It is not like if you are reading reddit.jpg, you can just send reddit.jpg. You can just rename it like let me just, if you want it to be manual, you can either you can leave it as reddit.jpg, or you can also write any other name. So it will just rename while sending the file. Let me all reddit.jpg. .jpeg, but make sure do not to change this extension .jpeg or things like that, or it may corrupt your file. I know I have written the spelling mistake knowingly, but that is what it is. And once you have read the file and attached the file, the need of the file, that particular file is done, so it is recommended to also close. So now we have added the attachment also. Now we will be able to send the mail. Now here I am just going to change the subject to from test subject to let's say test attachment subject. Thanks Andy card. I will just add comma 2, and I will just try to open. I will just try to run the code first. Let's see. I think that happened. Okay, this send mail function is commented down, so I will just uncomment it. I will save the code and I will just clear the screen, and I will run it. So here you see what is happening. Missing one argument, the file name. So here that argument is missing, so I think I have not defined the file name, because here I have defined the file name. So file name, I have to just simply come here, simply paste it here. These are some small and silly mistakes. I'll just run it. So now it is basically uploading your file, and it is going to be sent over the mail. So till it is sending, let me just open my mail. So mail sent successfully. So let me just refresh my mail. Okay, I had received it. So here you see 0 minute ago I have this Reddit email with that particular subject, and you can see that is the same email, and you can also match the time if you have any doubt on me. So this is how you can send an email with a single attachment. But what if you want to send with multiple email attachment of multiple different type? That is where the most interesting thing comes into the play, that is loops. So instead of sending just a single file, you have to say in multiple files. So you can say file names, and what we can say, let me just you can paste the name and as well the location of all the files that you want to send. So here I am sending reddit.jpeg, reddit archive.zip, as well as sample data.xls. So this is nothing but this is just a sample data of, this is just a random sample data. So this is how this is. And then what we need to do here, instead of the file name, I have to also do file names, and here also file names. So this is that. But as I have discussed, we have to use it inside a email, use it inside a loop. So here I will just write file name here I will just write the file name, because I don't want every file that is sent with the same name as well as the same category. So what piece of code should be inside the loop? So if you try to guess, we need the encoding inside the loop for each and every file. We need this information too. So this both contents should be inside, from here to here it should be inside a loop. So here we are going to simply say for for file names in file names, that here you see S names, that contains the list of all the files that we are going to send. For file names in file name, just put this column, put everything inside this loop just by selecting it and pressing the tab, save it, and then here you can test multiple attachment, and save the code. And let's try to run the code once again, and hope everything works perfectly fine. And here we are test multiple attachment, and let me just try to open the code. So it might take some time depending upon the file size that you have, but here all the file size that I have are pretty very small. So let me just go here. Let's just wait for this to complete. I have not received the mail. And here you see that is the reason why we should make sure to close the file, because we are opening multiple files, so we have to close each and every file, or we are not going to let all the files being open. So I think the mail is sent. Let me just refresh the email. Okay, so here you see test multiple attachments. So hey, mail have arrived. So here is the first the Reddit image. Here is the sample data that we have seen of all the rows and columns, and here is that archive file. So archive file have nothing but it just have some of my image, things like that. So till now you have seen how we can send a simple text image, how you can send multiple images as well as simple text. Now if you want to try to send some sort of the data frame, let me just show you quickly a simple example. So if you want to send something like this in a tabular format, that is what we are going to be seeing now. So let me just close this, and now let's move on to that. So if you are going to be sending something in the form of tabular and you are not going to be using this entire code, so I will just simply comment it out, and I will be sharing this code in my GitHub so that you can simply use this for your own advantage, and if you find any doubt or if you found any trouble. So next what we need to do is to read also import data frame, import pandas as PD. Okay, I think pandas spelling pandas as PD. Okay, now it's correct. And now let me also import one important libraries, that is pretty table. So why we are using this pretty HTML table, because this is what is going to allow us for inserting HTML. Let me just search this and let me just show you. So for learning anything, you have to first make sure to go to the page of the documentation, and here you can see with the clear example how the things are going to be working, how you can add blue, green, blue, dark, and how you can just edit each and every configuration out there. So first of all, what I'm going to be doing is I'm simply going to create a data frame. So I'm simply going to create a data frame. df is equal to pd.read. Let me just if I misspell, the code is going to be wrong. Read, and here I will just print the name of the file. So here let us suppose I just need to format this inside a good data structure or form. So I am simply going to copy this. So I will just write the name here. So it is sample data.xlsx. I have simply read the file, and now let me just. So now let me simply paste the body here, and let me explain you this. So here we are simply using the HTML head, body, and hey all, and you can also hey all. Here I am just using the break statement. I am using the h3 just to make things bold. You can also remove the h3 tag, command D to select both, delete, and here I am just using break to put the line break between it. And here is this. If you know about dot format, you might be familiar with this type of format. So if not, you can just look up on the Google for how you can format text in HTML, in Python, sorry. So here what we are basically trying to say here, at 0, as we all know, indexing start from 0 in programming, just put this data. This is what will be put here. So here we are going to say put the data frame, and here it should be using this blue light, width should be auto, font family should be this, font size should be this, text alignment should be right or left, and all the details I came to know from here. So here you can see here all the colors that you can use, even color, odd color, all the different sorts of things are available on each and every page documentation. So try to read this and try to experiment the things like that. So here you can say I can use left, right, center, justify, things like that. So let's go with the justify instead of the center. So just come here from the documentation, text alignment right, just paste justify, save it here, and then here we have saying hey all please find, and this one, like if you want to add another text, like here I have just added Sunday, or you want to do some calculation, put some data here, you can use separate by this. So this will be one. If you want to put hey all, instead of hey all, if you want to just put the name of someone, hey, let's say name, and let me just, sorry, not the name, I will have to use the number. Instead of this one, I will just delete it, and let me just create a name variable. Name is equal to ADITYA, because you can just imagine in a case that you want to send the report to the multiple of people, so you can just create a list of names, and you can just keep on sending by like this format. So here Aitya, and here as this is 1, I'll just simply remove it. So 0, for the 0, this is all the data that is going to be there, but for 1 it should be the name. So I'll just simply save it. But now in order to save the data as the HTML, we have to say message.add alternative. So msg.add alternative. So add alternative, we have to provide this body. Let me just simply copy. Let me paste like here, and body, and we have to also provide the subtype, because so that it can know that it is an HTML file. And now if I save the code, I am not passing the body here, but I can also do that, body. But as the variable is declared above the function, it can automatically detect, but it is very good practice to pass the variable name too. Body. So now if I try to send the mail, it should go in the formatted way, and let's just test if it is going to be working fine or not. And here I have just commented all the file attachment rules. So here it is not going to be sending any file with the attachment, it is just going to be sending with beautifully formatted data. So that is that. And if you also want to add that particular Excel file, you can, I know till now you have known the way how you can do that. So let me just open the Gmail once again, and let me just show you. So here you can see this is how it is being shown here. So there are multiple of the customization options that are available, and you can just use this pretty HTML, and you can play with the different parameters that are present to customize these things to your need. So I think that is it for this video, and I hope you must have learned something new. And I will not forget to put this code in the GitHub so that you can make use of it. So thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. Meet you in the next video.